YouTube, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I have the top 5 loadouts you gotta be using after the Season 5 Reloaded update in Warzone. As we know, when Season 5 released, there wasn't too much weapon tuning that was brought into the game, but they did announce that there was going to be quite a bit in the Season 5 Reloaded update, and that's exactly what we got. But with that being said, there was definitely some weapons that a lot of people were using that got nerfed, so that's exactly what we're going to be going over today. So at any point through the video, if you guys do go on to enjoy or find it useful, definitely let me know by dropping a like and comment down below. And of course, guys, if you are new around here, I'm always posting the best Warzone loadouts, so definitely feel free to subscribe to never miss out on them. Warzone's definitely in a dry spot right now, and this ends up happening every year with Call of Duty. We got Vanguard coming out in a couple months, so the game's not getting as much attention as it used to. But if you're on Xbox like myself, we are getting the Vanguard beta this weekend, so if that's something you guys are interested in seeing, definitely subscribe so you don't miss out on it. So without further ado, let's hop right into these top 5 loadouts. So coming in at the number 5 spot, we have the Farah 83 and the Bullfrog to back it up. Now after this Reloaded update, I really do feel like the Farah went on to take the Krig spot. The time to kill with the Farah is still very quick, especially if you're hitting him in the head or the upper torso. And on top of that, there is barely any recoil to this setup either, so it's easy to hit your opponents. So the loadout you're going to rock with is the GRU Suppressor, the 18.7 Spetsnaz RPK barrel, the ARMS 3-time optic, the Spetsnaz speed grip, and then finally the 60 round mag. I would definitely say the Farah is one of the better ARs to use right now, so definitely don't sleep on it. So moving on to the secondary weapon, we have the Bullfrog. This thing is still fantastic to use after the update because it has great mobility, no recoil, and the time to kill is very quick, especially up close. So the class setup you're going to use is the GRU Suppressor, the 7.6 rifle barrel, the skeletal stock, the 65 round mag, and then finally for the rear grip we have the GRU Elastic Wrap. The Bullfrog is one of the few SMGs that's able to have such a high round magazine, so definitely take advantage of that with this loadout. For the perks, we got Double Time, Overkill, and then Combat Scout. For the lethal, we have the Semtex Grenade, and then finally for the tactical, we are using the Heartbeat Sensor. So moving right along to our number 4 loadout, we have the Cold War AUG and the OTS-9 to back it up. Now as we know, the AUG used to be very OP in Warzone, and then it went on to get nerfed. But with the Season 5 Reloaded update, it ended up getting a recoil decrease, making this thing a very viable primary option again. With that being said, there's barely any recoil to this setup now, and only takes 3 to 4 bursts to knock your opponent, so here's the loadout you're gonna use. We have the Agency Suppressor, the 19.8 Task Force, the ARMS 3-time optic, the Field Agent foregrip, and then finally the 54 round mag. Definitely give this thing a go, so let's move on to the OTS-9 to back it up. Now with the update, the maximum damage range got decreased with the OTS-9, but this thing still plays very well and is great for close range gunfights. Overall, it definitely still performs very well, and it is a great viable option as a secondary because of how mobile it is, so here's what you're going to want to use. We have the GRU Suppressor, the 7.5 VDV Reinforced, the Bruiser Grip, the 40 round mag, and then finally the GRU Elastic Wrap. The OTS-9 is a really fun weapon to use, and it's easy to get used to, so definitely give this one a go. So our perks for this loadout are Double Time, Overkill, and Combat Scout. For the lethal, we have the Semtex Grenade, and then finally for the tactical, we are using the Heartbeat Sensor, but feel free to throw on whatever you prefer. So moving right along to the 3rd spot, we have a sniper loadout. So for this loadout, we're rocking with the Kar98 and the Psycho pistol. As we know, the Kar98 definitely one of the best sniper / marksman rifles to be using in Warzone since day one. With that being said, nothing is different after the Season 5 Reloaded update. If you hit him in the head, that's an instant down. If you get a body shot, you knock their plates. So here's what you gotta use: the Monolithic Suppressor, the Custom 27.6, the TAC Laser, the Sniper Scope, and then finally the Stippled Grip Tape. So moving to our secondary, we have the Psycho pistol. The reason we are using a pistol on this class is because we are running Ghost, but with that being said, this is definitely one of the best pistols you can be using since it has such a quick time to kill. And on top of that, you can have an 80 round magazine, so you can down a couple people with only one mag. So the loadout is the Monolithic Suppressor, the 144mm auto, the TAC Laser, the lightweight double action, and then finally, as I said, the 80 round mag. This is definitely one of the best secondaries to be using on a Ghost class. For the perks, we got Double Time, Ghost, and Amped. For the lethal, we are using the Semtex, and then finally for the tactical, we are using the Heartbeat Sensor. So moving right along to our number 2 loadout, we have the Krig 6 and the Modern Warfare MP5. Now as I did say, the Krig ended up getting nerfed a little bit with this update. The maximum and minimum damage were both decreased. But with even that being the case, this thing still performs very well, especially if you're hitting him in the head or the upper torso. There weren't any recoil adjustments, so this thing still absolutely beams, but you just need to aim a little bit higher in order to down your opponents quickly. So here's the loadout you gotta use: the Agency Suppressor, the 19.7 Takedown barrel, the ARMS 3-time optic, the Field Agent grip, and then finally the 60 round mag. The nerf wasn't too drastic with this Krig, so don't feel like you can't use it. So moving on to the secondary, the Modern Warfare MP5. Honestly, there isn't much to say about this thing. It's been a great weapon to use for several seasons now, and nothing is really different. different, so I definitely recommend that you give this thing a go and level it up if you haven't already. It's got a quick time to kill and barely any recoil, so here's the loadout you're going to want to use. We have the integral suppressor, the tack laser, the Merc foregrip, the 45 round mag, and finally the stippled grip tape. If you feel that you need that reload quickness, take off the stippled grip tape and throw on sleight of hand for the perk. For the perks on the loadout itself, we have double time, overkill, and then amped. For the lethal, we are using the throwing knife, and then finally for the tactical, we have the heartbeat sensor on. So moving right along to the number one loadout spot, we have the C58 and the MAC-10. Like a lot of the other primary ARs, the C58 ended up getting a little bit of a nerf too. Luckily, it was nothing too crazy, it was just a recoil adjustment. So with that being said, it's definitely a little bit more difficult to aim, but the time to kill is still very quick, so here's the loadout you're going to want to use. For the muzzle, we have the agency suppressor. For the barrel, we have the 18.2 takedown. For the optic, we have the arms 3-time. For the underbarrel, we have the field agent grip, and then finally for the magazine, we have the 55 round mag on. So moving along to the secondary, we have the MAC-10. The MAC is still a very viable option to be using as a secondary for close and medium range gunfights. It still has one of the quickest fire rates in the game, making it have one of the quickest time to kill in the game. On top of that, it has very minimal recoil and the mobility is great, so here's what you're going to want to use. For the muzzle, we have the agency suppressor. For the barrel, we have the 5.9 task force. For the stock, we have the SAS combat stock. For the ammo, we have the 53 round drum mag, and then finally for the rear grip, we have the drop shot wrap. Moving on to the perks for this loadout, we have double time, overkill, and combat scout. For the lethal, we have the throwing knife on, and then for the tactical, we are using the heartbeat sensor. So there you guys have it. These were the top 5 loadouts to be using after the Season 5 Reloaded update in Warzone. All of these loadouts are unique in their own ways and are made for different play styles, so definitely feel free to give them all a go. I know there's probably a couple of weapons on this list that you wouldn't have expected to see, but due to the new weapon tuning, they definitely all perform well, so take the time and level them up. If you guys did go on to enjoy today's video or found it useful, definitely let me know by dropping a like and comment down below. It is always greatly appreciated. And of course guys, if you are new around here, I'm always posting the best Warzone loadouts, Call of Duty news, gameplays, and more, so feel free to subscribe to never miss out on a future video. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be posting the Vanguard beta gameplay this weekend, so if that's something you guys are interested in, you're definitely not going to want to miss out. But with all that being said guys, thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.